Welcome back to VCT FAQ part 2 of I have no idea how many. This is going to be very similar to the last episode, and I introed the project in the last episode, so we're just going to jump right in. Very first question, I'm going to do these out of order. This one actually comes from a huge fan of mine. Constantly sends me letters. He's very kind, and I just wanted to tell you personally that I appreciate your fandom and your support. Thank you for the daily letters and the gifts that I get from you. But this is from Tom Biz Valorant. The real question: are you taller than Mitch Man? Unequivocally, yes. If you guys hang out in my stream on Twitch, selfless plug, you'll see that there's actually a Twitch command that you can input that tells everyone what my exact height is. And if you are curious, actually, wait, hang on. I can pull it up right now. Watch this. There you go. That's my height. Moving on. Question number 2. This is from Nick _Mick on YouTube. Doug, you inspire me to get into casting. I'm a music artist who watches Valorant religiously, so I'm pretty confident in my voice and what I would have to say. Where does one get started in a field like casting? I'm going to be really honest with you. In this day and age, the best way, the advice, if I may, advice I could give to anyone who wants to get into casting is the following. Record and post everything you possibly can. Grab clips of you playing your games, post them, put them on YouTube, put them on TikTok, put them on Instagram, put them on Twitter, put them on Reddit, put them on everywhere. Do it of pro matches. Just grab clips of pro matches, record yourself casting over them, and put them out on socials. Just put them everywhere. Just post them everywhere you can possibly think of. And then, I'll give you guys a very brief story of me specifically when I was looking to get into casting for Valorant, and I didn't feel like I was getting the opportunities that I wanted or needed. I just ran my own tournament. I put together a charity invitational in partnership with eUnited. You can still find it on YouTube. But essentially what I said was, if I'm not getting if the doors aren't opening, I've told this story on stream before. If the doors aren't opening, I'm just going to kick the wall down. So I reached out to orgs like Cloud9 and Gen G. We had a Ninja's team who was still playing Valorant at the time, competitively, organized an 8-team tournament. I casted it, put it all together myself. And from beginning to end, the project took about a week, which was outrageously unhealthy, and I do not recommend that. But if you want it, and you aren't getting the opportunities you feel like you should be having or are getting, make your own. Make your own. And then kind of see what happens from there, right? But if you really want this and you really love this and you feel like you can do it, you're better off trying literally anything and everything that you can try, including cold DMing people, blah, 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 than to kind of like give it a half-hearted approach and then not, and then kind of wonder if maybe you had left something on the table. So best of luck. Yeah. All right, next question. This is from Wiley Rice 5460. I'm curious about your dynamic with Bala that we don't see. Is there a lot of visual hand off or set up? Bala and I hold hands the entire cast for hours on a never let go the entire time. There is not a ton of physical stuff, to be honest. I think we've gotten so comfortable with each other at this point that we just kind of know each other's cadence and kind of what we want to say, when we want to interject, things like that. So there isn't a ton of that. There is the occasional, and it's become less and less frequent. Say Bala really wants to say something and he wants me to get out of the way quickly. He'll tap the table. Just put 2 fingers down or tap the table. So I have a physical or a visual cue that he wants the mic. But that's really it, to be honest. And then what we do is we will non-verbally gas each other up, which is always fun. But yeah, a lot of it is very, it's just, we've just gotten really comfortable with each other at this point. Let's see. Next question is from Sweetly Sarcastic. You mentioned in that one Nightmare solo cast that you didn't have production talking to you at all. What do they usually say, and how often do they talk to you? It depends on what we're doing. So if I'm casting, they'll talk to me right before we go on camera. And generally speaking, there's silence from production until the very end, until we're about to throw. If something happens, like there's a tech pause and we need explanation on what's going on, they'll talk to us then while we're on camera. But even then, this doesn't always work out this way, but if there's info that I need to know, they'll talk to me while Bala's talking or something like that. It doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes they relay info while we're talking, but and then when it comes to things like interviews, for example, those are very different. Those are much more communicative. We'll go with that. Much more communicative. I'm pretty sure that's not a word. So they'll be talking to us about how much time you have left in the interview while the interview's happening, how many questions you have left, where are you throwing to once the interview's done. And the thing is, they can tell us some of that stuff ahead of time, but when you're in such a concentrated time window, you're going to forget some stuff. So they're going to have to remind you while it's happening, which is fine. It's just something that you just kind of get used to over time. Let's see. I think I want to get one more in here. From Sarko, who at the event, this was sent in during Brazil and in a very Doug fashion. I am fashionably late to putting this video out. Who at the event could you beat in an arm wrestle? Literally everyone, except Mimi. No one beats Mimi at arm wrestling. Guys, okay, here's a very little known secret about a evil cat. It wasn't that long ago, right before she was casting, Mimi was actually, I really don't know that I should, just don't tell her I said this. Mimi was like a professional arm wrestler. She doesn't talk about it very often. I think she did some things that she's probably a little ashamed of, but she was a professional arm wrestler. And that's why, I mean, nobody beats Mimi at arm wrestling. Literally everyone has tried. Bren, Josh, me, and Bala at the same time have tried beating her at arm wrestling, and we just can't. So that's really the only one. Everyone else, they're just light work, especially Josh. Noodle arms. All right, that's going to do it for this episode of VCT FAQ Part 2. I did include some questions from the YouTube comments, so if you have other questions that you want to add, and please drop them in the comments below. I will attempt to post-edit this far more than I did the last one, so that you all enjoy. We'll see you guys next time.